Hello everybody, this is Hybrid, and today I'll be reviewing Scarlet Spider number 8. So I was going to review this on Wednesday, but Wednesday and Thursday were very hard to do other recordings on, mostly due to the fact that I was recording with White Sheep as he's out. He'll announce it later, but he's leaving to do something, which is pretty big. Yeah, we tried getting like 3-4 recordings in beforehand, and we also recorded the new comic book verses as well, which has Sentry and Icon. So without further ado, I guess let's begin with the review. So we're in the Gulf of Mexico. This is several months ago, and it's on an offshore drilling rig. And basically, Mr. Walsh, the CEO of Roxanne, he's come by. He's like, "What's going on?" Basically, why? I guess they're dealing with some sort of energy, and he's like, "Were you able to contain it?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Then what contained it?" And he's like, "Well, one of the workers." And he's like, "The thing's inside him." So that's interesting. We don't know what this thing is though. But now we move on to now, and this kind of is where it leaves off from the last issue. We have Flamebird, or Firebird, sorry, who at first glance, you know, I think this might be taking place during the AVX stuff, since Scarlet Spider says the girl's got some kind of fire powers that's popular. So I don't know if that was a reference to that or not in the Phoenix 5, because her costume does look like it could be Phoenix costume, even though it's obvious she's not a member of that, but still. Then we go to a guy named Living Lightning who looks just like Ultimate Electro. We go to a guy, or I think it's a guy, called 51, which is a very mysterious character. And then we go to Drew Daniels, or the Texas Twister, and he has, I guess, aerokinesis. Then we go to Shooting Star and Red Wolf. So they're behind Scarlet Spider, and he can take them, but honestly, he doesn't want a scene really. He just wants to get some answers. So he decides to handle this in his own version of delicate, and that is by throwing Shooting Star through a window at landing into Texas Twister's arms, and then basically dodging all of the Rangers' attacks and taking Miss Walsh, sorry, which is the daughter of the CEO, and they go on their way. While they do that, we actually get an idea of 51's powers, and it's really odd because of the fact that whenever he talks, though, it's in very, very tiny font, and it's really like a light yellow font. So he does talk, but you can't really see it in the panels. And even when you look at it, it's like a jumbled up version of words for, I don't know, you can't really understand them at all. So he seems to have some kind of mental abilities, because he gets into Scarlet Spider's head pretty much, and that almost takes Scarlet Spider out. But then at the last second, he gets back and everything, and he escapes. So then we go to Roxanne, the CEO again. He's talking to the Rangers and the police, and they're basically saying that Scarlet Spider is a villain, even though not everybody is buying it, considering the fact that he's been helping a lot of people yesterday, or not yesterday, but the few days or weeks that he's been in Houston. So it's just kind of weird. And this company doesn't have the best record, so people are kind of understanding that maybe there is something going on. And then we go to Minute Maid Park, and basically Scarlet Spider is talking to Zoe, and he's like, "Are you serious? Are you an idiot or something?" And she's like, "No, I need you. I need you." And he's like, "You're very unbalanced. Just back away." And she's like, "Well, I can show you this place basically, and you kind of have to believe me, because I guess he's doing some pretty evil things." So Scarlet Spider, he's trying to turn his life around. He's like, "Well, I can't web swing there, so let's take a bike there." So they take a motorcycle, and the Rangers follow them as well there. And Mr. Walsh, sorry, finds out that they are actually going to basically this perimeter place, and they're actually there right now. And supposedly something is there they don't want them to see because Mr. Walsh says that he doesn't care if his daughter's there or the Rangers are there. He will kill them all if he has to. So then we get to the refinery 729 in Galveston, Texas, or yeah, whatever. But anyways, Scarlet Spider is totally torn up the place. We get to this room that I guess supposedly there's supposed to be a bunch of dead bodies there, but there aren't there. Which, for Scarlet Spider is pretty. He's upset because one reason he came to Houston was to not be hunted down as a fugitive anymore. Kind of have a second chance. But then when he's thinking about that and he's really upset, he realizes, oh snap, there's wind inside. Which means the Rangers are here. So he basically lets them pound on him for a bit. Each member gets their own fair share. So he uses a feature on the suit that they don't show often yet in this comic series, which is stealth mode. So he gets all stealthy until 51 decides, let me do something that's no one probably knows I could do. And with that being said, he collapses the ground, and it turns out under the floor that they were standing on are crap tons of dead bodies everywhere. There's also a lab team down there doing some probably not humane experiments. The airway is confused. They have no idea what's going on. And they talk to the scientist who's like, you don't understand. You need to stop right now and before you damage anything. Scarlet Spider is telling him to shut it down, and he's like, it's too late. So then at the end of it, we have this guy who's now kind of, there's like this weird energy monster thing outside of him, and I guess his body is like a conduit for it to take a physical form. But yeah, I'm assuming the creature's name is going to be Mammon because it says next will be Mammon. I like what Scarlet Spider said at the end where he's like, you call yourself the Rangers superheroes, right? And he's like, yep. He's like, good, this one's all yours. So that's there, and I guess I'll start with my kind of scores and critiques on the review now. So art, I give it 2.5. The reason why is because I feel like the art is very generic in this issue, and it's just honestly, I don't feel like there's anything special about it. I don't feel like there's any extra, like if this is a dinner dish, this would be like the dinner dishes that you get, like the frozen ones. It doesn't taste home cooked. It doesn't, it's not fancy from a restaurant. It's just, generic. Anyone can have it. So that's why for art I give it a 2.5. But for plot and writing, I give it a 4. I think Yost does a good job with the character and writing as well on the storyline. I'm very interested to see how or where it goes because, Houston's a pretty, it's a pretty big area. Texas in general is a really big area, and it's a very unexplored area in comics. So to have Scarlet Spider be able to really explore that, they have a lot of creative liberties, and I feel that Yost is really making sure he can use those liberties. Then we get to characters, and I give 5 there because I felt, Christopher Yost, like, he really knows how to write Scarlet Spider. This is Kane. You read this character and you really, you see Kane, and if you've read Kane, his history. It's pretty, he's had his dark moments, and you can really kind of feel for the character and understand why he, when he thought that maybe there's nothing there, he was kind of pissed that basically his second chance and not being a fugitive is gone, which, like I said earlier, if you know his past, it really means a lot to him probably to have a second chance and not be hunted down all the time. And then we go to enjoyment. I give it 8.5 because overall I did enjoy the issue. I'm actually kind of excited for what's to come. I'm guessing it's going to be a decent, at least, fight scene. I'm also interested on the backstory of this energy creature because we really don't know much about it. But besides that, 80% overall. It's a pretty good issue. I'd say buy it, but wait a week or so when it gets on the kind of discounted stuff. But yeah, this is Hybrid, and subscribe, comment, and like, and see you later.